चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहा दावाग्निर्वापणम् श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणम् विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनम् प्रतिपदम् पूर्णामृतास्वादनम् सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम् यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्वंह देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये. The Divine Souls. Today I'm going to take up a simple question that comes from our scriptures, which is that our scriptures tell us that we should remember God all of the time. Ved says, Tena tyaktena bhunjitha ma gridha kasyas vidhanam. It indicates that while living in the world and performing all of our worldly duties, we should be remembering God all the time. Gita is even more explicit. Krishna says at many places in the Gita, just like, Ananyacheta satatam yomam smarati nityashah tasyaham sulabha partha nityayuktasya yoginah. Hey Arjun, if someone remembers me all the time, and he says it in a couple of different ways. Satatam means uninterrupted. Nityashah, all the time. So that person can easily attain me. Ananyashchintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. A famous statement of the Gita where Krishna gives a promise to Arjuna that if someone remembers me all the time, then I take his full responsibility. I take full care of that soul if he remembers me all the time. He says in almost every chapter, the first verse was from the 8th chapter, that one was from the 9th chapter. In the 10th chapter, he also says the same thing in a different way. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. Again he says satatam. The one who remembers me all the time with love, bhajatam priti purvakam, if he remembers me with love all the time, then I give him my divine mind. And with that, he knows me and experiences me. Krishna even goes so far as to tell Arjuna, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmarayudhyacha. Arjuna, you're about to fight this war. I'm urging you to fight this war. But he also tells Arjuna, while fighting the war, yudhyacha, mamanusmara sarveshu kaleshu. Every second while you're fighting the war, remember me. So he couldn't be more explicit than that. But think about it. Think about what a practical problem this presents to us. We're sitting in the temple right now, insulated from the world, and we can't even remember God for 10 minutes straight. And he's telling Arjuna, while you're fighting the war, keep remembering me all the time. Bhagavatam says, Na chalati bhagavat padarvindalavanimishardhamapiya savaishnavagriya. That is a true devotee whose mind never leaves the lotus feet of his beloved God even for a fraction of a second. But how to do it practically? The mind is extremely quick. The flight of the mind is faster than the speed of light, yet it cannot be in two places at the same time. It can go from the inside of this temple to the moon in a second. It means your mind can wander all over, but it cannot be in two places at once. That's an impossibility. Mind is always active, but it's always only thinking of one thing at one time. So how to think of Krishna all the time? How to practically remember God when we're working, doing our daily chores, duties, all the things we have to do in the world, driving, teaching, talking, doing all these things. How do we remember God when our mind can only be in one place at one time? This is today's question. These are the kind of questions that perplex even the greatest of scholars, but which our beloved Kripaluji Maharaj has made sugam, easily understandable. So according to Sri Maharajji's explanation of this, let's understand how is it practically possible to remember God all the time, whether you're sitting in the temple or fighting a war like Arjuna was, or doing your worldly duties like you all have to do. Actually, there's a way that our mind on a very deep level maintains a remembrance of other things even when our conscious mind is engaged in something else. I'll give you an example. Like our personal identity. Who you feel you are, that never leaves your mind. So even if, let's say, you're a computer programmer and you're working on the computer, do you ever forget, I'm a man or I'm a woman? Do you ever get confused about that? Oh, I was so deeply engaged in this work, for a moment I forgot if I was a man or a woman. That doesn't happen. We always have that deep sense of personal identity. I'm a mother or I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a wife. This deep personal identity, which doesn't even relate to our soul, that's just relating to our body. In our last life, we didn't necessarily have the same gender that we have in this life. We didn't necessarily have the same relationships to the same souls that we have in this life. So just these superficial physical relationships are so deep in our heart that we never forget them. We always remember, I'm a husband, I'm a wife, I'm a man, I'm a woman. So this personal identity remains with us all the time, no matter what we're doing. This is one thing. There are two more things that remain with us. One was our personal identity. Number two, our deep desires and attachments. Those that go so deep that they reach our subconscious mind, those stay with us no matter what our conscious mind is doing.